When a person commits adultery, they are not a believer at that moment. Likewise, when a person drinks alcohol, they are not a believer while doing so. The same is true for a thief during the act of stealing, and for a robber during the act of looting. People gaze upon them with disgust as they carry out their crimes. Have you not come across the words of Allah in the Book of Allah? And do not go near adultery. Indeed, it is an immorality and an evil path. Don't you realize that wherever you are, Allah the Almighty is watching you, and if you speak, He is hearing you? Do you not recall Allah's immense blessings upon you? When you are ill, He is the one who grants healing. When you are hungry, He is the one who provides food. When you are thirsty, He is the one who gives you water to drink. It is He who has bestowed upon you the blessing of Islam, the greatest of all blessings. So, is the recompense for goodness anything but goodness? How to avoid tempting thoughts? To avoid this sin and the path of indecency, believers, both men and women, are commanded to lower their gaze. Moreover, marriage is presented as the practical means to guard oneself against such sins. In Surah Al-Mu'minun, when discussing the blessed people who will inherit paradise in the hereafter, Allah, the most merciful and compassionate, states that they are those who safeguard their private parts. The way to protect oneself from sin and indecency is also clearly defined. Apart from one's spouse, i.e. the holy institution of marriage, there is no permissible way to satisfy one's desires. Marriage thus becomes the practical means to guard one's chastity and to avoid the grave sin of adultery. For this reason, making marriage easy and promoting it is necessary to prevent adultery from spreading in society. The current situation. In today's age, we witness the complete collapse of moral values. Immorality and indecency are rampant. We see such shameful incidents that humanity shudders. People have turned into predators in terms of sexual behavior, with even innocent children falling prey to this brutality. In both Western and increasingly Muslim countries, this evil has become widespread. The West has normalized these relationships to such an extent that no one considers them wrong. They are so ingrained in society that they are no longer viewed as sins. As a result, the family system has disintegrated. The children born from these illegitimate relationships rarely experience the stability of a complete family. More often than not, the burden of raising such children falls entirely on the mother. These relationships often lead to substance abuse, depression, and other harmful behaviors. There is divine wisdom in every command of Allah. Adultery has been declared a grave sin, and when we examine it from a societal and general perspective, it brings only harm. Undoubtedly, sexual relations are necessary for the continuation of the human race and are a natural need of every adult, but they are only lawful within the sacred bond of marriage. This marriage must be public and not secret, for even secret marriages are frowned upon. The presence of witnesses in marriage, followed by the declaration of acceptance, allows two people to live in a lawful relationship. Both the man and woman equally share the responsibility for the children born from this relationship. The man, through marriage, takes responsibility for the woman, providing her with sustenance and care. The children born from this union carry the lineage of the father. None of this is possible in the case of adultery. A man or woman may engage in sexual relations with multiple partners, and if children result from these relationships, it is often difficult to even identify the father. Frequently, the man disowns any responsibility. In a proper marriage, the consent of both families is generally involved, and if any issues arise, relatives typically step in to help. Such efforts help preserve the family system for married couples and their legitimate offspring. In contrast, in adulterous or secret relationships, everything is hidden, leading to doubts about the children and the relationship itself. In short, the peace and tranquility that should exist in a marriage are absent in illicit relationships, leaving only unrest.